community. Each week, we'll meet with a variety of faculty, staff, and students to discuss all things Arkansas State University. Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. And this is A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. I'm Jonathan Reeves, Academic Advisor for the School of Media and Journalism and the Department of Communication at Arkansas State, and welcome to another exciting year and season of A-State Connections. Today we're talking about Red Wolf sports, and joining me today to talk about this is Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Engagement, Brad Bobo. In the first segment of the show, we'll talk with A-State Women's Volleyball head coach Brian Gerwig, and in the second segment of the show, A-State Women's Soccer player Mackenzie Robinson joins us. Coach, Brad, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Before we talk about the sports, I want to learn a little bit more about you. Coach, tell us about yourself and how you came to Arkansas State.
Yeah, I first came here as an assistant under David Rear about 5-6 years ago now. Dave was one of my mentors, and I was at George Washington University prior, and really built a great relationship with him, and this was a program that had sustained success in the past. So came here first as an assistant, and then really had an opportunity build a great program with him at Houston, and then to come back and take my first head coaching job. So it's been great to be back in Jonesboro.
What was it about the sport of volleyball that attracted you to the sport?
Man, I loved a lot of different sports as a kid, and basketball and swimming and riding my bike and being outside. And there was just something about the team atmosphere within volleyball that I really gravitated towards. And so I grew a little bit later in life, but by the end of high school, it was 6'2" and able to dunk, and it was a lot of fun to be that physical and be able to play volleyball. So I really enjoyed it.
Right, and we'll talk about the team here in just one second. Brad, thank you for joining us here today. A lot of people recognize your voice, of course, as you've been on radio for many years before doing this, and so tell us.
Now they know why.
Now they know why.
All those years.
Well, I mean, I can't say anything because face for radio kind of thing going on here with me. So tell us about what brought you to Arkansas State, and tell us about what you do here at A-State.
Well, gosh. What brought me to Arkansas State initially, to be honest with you, is the building we're sitting in. I knew at an early age that I wanted to go into broadcast, and as soon as I knew that, I knew Arkansas State was the place I wanted to do it. And so, grew up, I'm a Northeast Arkansas guy, Arkansas State alum, and really, broadcast sort of was my path into the athletic department, which was never part of the plan. But that's how it worked out, and so, now I still get to sort of scratch my broadcast itch, but I get to get up every day and help my favorite team, so you really can't beat that.
Absolutely. I want to talk about volleyball, and Coach, you've got a great start to the season. Tell us about your team.
This team's really special. I think building culture is something that is sometimes hard to do, especially in this era with transfer portal. And, we got a lot of young freshmen on our team, and I made the decision early to have a majority of our kids be freshmen and recruit young and try to build the culture. And the culture this year is really special. Sometimes you have to force it, and this year I haven't had to force it at all. They're extremely competitive, and off the court they're best friends. We can't keep them away from each other.
And that really shows for people who've seen the volleyball team. You can just tell when it's forced, but you can tell when it's real, and it just seems to be that they really enjoy being with each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's everything from the seniors or the upperclassmen, because we only have 4 upperclassmen. We'll have like all the freshmen over because they have to cook dinner or things like that, and they'll have them all over. They'll have movie nights. When parents come into town, they'll be taking different groups of them out to dinner, and it's just really, truly a great family environment. And that wasn't me. I would have loved to say I built it, I did this, but this is all the kids, and it's just a testament to how great human beings they are.
This may sound like an obvious question, but I do want to ask it because you mentioned the word culture. How important is that as a coach to be able to have that? Does it make your job easier? I mean, tell us about the word culture.
I think it's possible to win without culture, but it is extremely hard. I think the better your culture is, the kids start playing for each other. They'll start playing for me. They'll listen to us as a staff. It's just this extra leg for them to stand on that makes our team different than other people. And I think, again, you can't build a great team without culture.
Yeah, Brad, this is a fun team to watch.
Oh, it is, and you know this, Jonathan, from the work you do with them. But
Sure.
even kind of broader scope than just this team. In general, if you haven't been to college volleyball, you sort of don't know what you're missing. And I would even say here, Northeast Arkansas, as popular as high school volleyball is, I'd say the same thing. Volleyball is an unbelievably fun sport to watch live because these kids are athletic, they're fast, they run, they jump, and somebody scores every time the ball's in play, right? I mean, you can go to a basketball game and somebody might go 5 minutes without scoring.
Yeah.
Every time that ball's in the air, somebody's coming out of it with a point, and it makes volleyball really, really fun to watch.
You were talking about that off air. We were talking about how with volleyball, women's volleyball, I mean, it's catching on across the nation. We were just talking about Nebraska had a large number, probably the largest
Yeah,
a
crowd
world record.
recently.
It was 92,003 fans at a women's sporting event, and it was the largest in the history of athletics. So I think volleyball in general has a lot of momentum right now. As Brad was already saying, like very competitive sport, very quick. Fans can stay engaged. You don't really fall asleep because there's just so much going on.
Yeah, and one thing I know that you like about that is obviously it's allowed. People have a good time. What does that do to the team when you've got you're there in that final set or anywhere and they're just getting loud and getting in it? How does that affect the team?
Oh, we feed off the emotion of the crowd, and Jonesboro in general, Northeast Arkansas has a great, rich tradition of success, especially as you said on the high school level, and that transitions into educated fans. So they come to watch our game, and they're cheering for the right things. They're encouraging our kids in the right way, and they appreciate good volleyball. So whether it's us making a great play or the other team making a great play, they're cheering on both sides of it. So we love having them.
Yeah,
So
Brad.
I know, Coach and I are both invested in there always being more from a crowd standpoint. So we're always driving for what's going to get more. But I tell you this, a couple of weeks ago, before the season started, his team played a scarlet and black scrimmage against each other in front of a crowd that a lot of people would sign up to have in a regular season match. But people were sitting on go and ready to see this volleyball team in action.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've had well over 500, if not 700 fans almost at every single game. And that really helps us. It just helps our environment, our home environment as well. And I mean, our overall attendance record is something like 2,500 fans, and they set it, I think it was back in 2016. I would love for one match this year, one match next year. We really focus on it as a fan base and try to break that record again.
Yeah, and it's doable, definitely, for sure,
absolutely.
to be able to do that. So let's talk about, you're on the road right now. You'll be coming back on the 29th, I believe, on the 29th of September you're coming back. But kind of tell us about what y'all are doing on the road.
Yeah, we're traveling to southern Indiana or southern Illinois. Carbondale is where we're going this weekend. We start with Eastern Illinois, and that's going to be a really, really tough match. I anticipate them to win the OVC and really look at advancing through the NCAA tournament. They're really, really solid. It'll be a good test for us, for a young team, and to see how we respond. And then obviously the home team in Carbondale and Alabama A&M will be fun matches this weekend as well. After that, we're going to go to Missouri State, and then we're home against conference foe Louisiana. So I'm looking forward to getting a little payback after last year's matches at their place.
Yeah, so.
Unfortunately, like I say fortunately now, unfortunately then, like they're in line. I'm sure they kept receipts all through the year last year because this team, they just fought and fought and fought, and it was close match after close set, and this close set led to that close match. And they saw it kind of pay them off at the tournament, but before we get there, over the course of the season, I'm sure they've got a little bit of a Red Wolves revenge tour through the Sun Belt Conference coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to be able to watch, and it's all so we'll definitely be doing that. Brad, one thing I wanted to ask about, and we're going to continue on this on the other side of the break as well. How can fans be involved or get involved with things that are going on with Arkansas State? I know apps are such a big thing, but it seems like you all have really taken that app to the next level.
Well, yes, thank you for that. And the biggest key to that is really taking this step toward mobile ticketing, and that was the big drive in sort of ramping up that app. There'd been an app before, but it was just sort of, hey, if you stumble across this app and download it, cool, you've got the app. Well, now the app is sort of the key to the whole thing, because once you download the A-State Athletics app, you can link it up to your Ticketmaster account, and every ticket you've got to an A-State game then just pops up on your phone. You move it to your wallet, you scan your phone, you walk in and watch the game. You got volleyball tickets and you want to send somebody a couple of them, you just text them 2 of your volleyball tickets or send them an email with 2 of the tickets in it. So I would encourage anybody that's an Arkansas State fan, also anybody that's an Arkansas State student, download the A-State Athletics app, because it's also a communications piece, not just in the terms of the news stories pop up there, but we can, through push notifications, we can communicate directly to people who have the app. And sometimes it's going to be an offer or a contest that's only for people that have the app. So go in the Google Play or the App Store, A-State Athletics. You'll see the Red Wolf pop up there. Click that thing, download it, and it's going to just continue becoming kind of a bigger piece of what's going on.
Yeah, I'm getting pop-up notifications all the time, from the app.
Well, don't
so
say
it's
that.
all
Not
good.
too many. It's just the right number.
Well, it's some. Some of them have your face on it, so I have to
we're
watch
mindful,
out for that,
and I'm making sure we're mindful that we don't want to drive people crazy with notifications.
Exactly.
Because we want you to turn the notifications on. It's a kind of a key part of the puzzle. But so we got to walk that line between making sure we keep you informed without kind of inundating you with notifications.
But the main notification right now for this segment is that volleyball is just, it's on fire, and you need to go and support the volleyball team when they come back home to First National Bank Arena on the 29th.
I have the app, so I'm already getting those notifications. And
Yeah.
It worked great. We were the test subject for it, so I was thrilled to see digital ticketing happen.
By the way, one more thing, as sort of talking volleyball, we've also sort of revamped our House Pals Kids Club. If you go to astateredwolves.com/housepals, sign your youngster 12 and under up for that. One of the things that they get as a House Pal member is free admission to volleyball matches.
That's fantastic. That's a great way to be able to do that.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as you said, the high school culture right now is makes it fun for people to come on out there to watch, bring the whole family on out there to watch volleyball, and also there's got to be that recruiting tool in there as well to be able to. People are excited and say, maybe I want to play for the Red Wolves as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely have a family environment, and we
Yep.
love the bigger crowds. Definitely when we have recruits on campus, they see that, and they appreciate people showing up and caring about volleyball.
Fantastic. Well, Brian Gerwig is the head coach of A-State Women's Volleyball. Brad Bobo is Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Engagement at Arkansas State. Coach, thank you so much for joining us here today. We appreciate it for this first segment.
No, thank you for having me.
We're going to continue this conversation after this quick timeout. We'll be right back after this, and this is A-State Connections.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
Are you looking for an education that will take you places? At Arkansas State University, we're preparing students for success in today's ever-changing job market. With expert faculty and cutting-edge technology, we're creating an environment where students can thrive and reach their full potential. And with a diverse student body and a supportive community, you'll find plenty of options to get involved and make lifelong connections. Discover all that Arkansas State University has to offer. Apply today and start your journey to a brighter future.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you howl.
At Arkansas State, we want you to go. Go where learning soars, takes flight, and rockets ahead. Go for experiences, internships, and scholarships. We want you to go. Become A-State Maine. Are you ready to go? Go.astate.edu for details.
Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. And welcome back to A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. We're continuing our conversation today about Arkansas State University sports. Joining me in the second segment is Brad Bobo and also A-State women's soccer player Mackenzie Robinson. Mackenzie, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
So I wanted to ask you, first of all, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm a junior. I was a transfer. I'm a strat comm major. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I've played soccer for about 16 years. Don't really know what else.
No, it's fine. So what got you interested in soccer? Well, I know obviously it's something that you do as a kid and all that, but tell us about what your love for soccer, where that came from.
So it started whenever I started watching my brother and sister play, and they were very competitive, so I was like, oh, if they're playing, I can be better. So I just kind of started doing that, and then I just kind of fell in love with it after that.
Right. Do they continue playing? I mean, are they playing like you are, like in collegiate?
Actually, there's a 12-year, 10-year gap.
Oh, 10-year gap, okay.
So my brother did play in high school. My sister ended up playing at UCM, and that's actually where I transferred from. So, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. How are you liking it here at Arkansas State?
Oh, I love it here. The environment is awesome. The coaches are amazing. The players, very easy to get along with.
Very good. Brad, this is another fun team to watch, is the soccer team.
And Mackenzie's a fun player to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can't say enough about the job Coach Dooley and his staff and his players have done over the years. There'd been a long time where if you'd asked me, I'd have told you that soccer is going to be very difficult, if not next to impossible, for Arkansas State to be that successful in. And part of it is, Coach Dooley's got to cover a lot of ground from a recruiting standpoint. He's got to go outside the geographic circle to bring in most of his players. But, man, he's done a phenomenal job, and the kids he's brought in, has gotten Arkansas State at the top of the Sun Belt. Walk right in the door over there at their clubhouse, and there are going to be 2 Sun Belt Conference championship trophies staring at you. And
sure.
That's always a welcome sight. I bet they've got room for more.
Absolutely. Mackenzie, how did you learn about Arkansas State?
Well, I entered the transfer portal, and I was just searching every school out there. I was like, I don't even know if I really want to play anymore, but Arkansas State caught my eye, and Coach Dooley, when I talked to him, he sounded like he really cared about his players, and that was probably the main thing that I was really looking for.
We were talking in the last segment about the volleyball team and the culture that's on that team, and just how the culture is just welcoming, and it's a great. Tell us about how that is on the women's soccer team. Just how the team dynamic is.
I think it's really good, and I think culture is also very important, because going to soccer practice every day isn't really. I'm not gonna lie, it's not that fun. And so it's basically like a job, and if I didn't have those girls next to me, supporting me every day, I probably would not want to go. But because of them and because of the culture, I want to go every day.
Yeah, and that's important. That definitely is. And another thing too, you've got great fan turnout, and big game tomorrow night.
Yeah, big game.
A very good Oklahoma State team coming in here Thursday afternoon at 3:00.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun to be able to do that.
Part of a 4-match homestand, right? Match 2 of 4 straight at home.
Yeah, I guess so.
Come on out.
Yeah, well, I imagine though with between class and everything else that's going on, all the days kind of
mixed together.
I know, pretty quick. No, it's all good. Brad, besides this, there are other sports that are going on. Football's coming up with Memphis and that taking place. Tell us about that and the first home game coming up at Arkansas State.
I mean, first of all, to kind of state the obvious, right? The opener didn't go the way anybody wanted it to, okay?
Right.
But it's one game. No season, good or bad, has ever been decided in one game.
Yeah.
I tell people, I went to Eugene, Oregon, the first game of the 2012 season, and watched an Oregon team that could have scored 100 if it wanted to. and that's an Arkansas State team that went on to win a Sun Belt Conference championship. So nothing was decided last Saturday in Norman. Now, we get to kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. The next 3 Saturdays at home, and there have never been 3 straight Saturdays in September at home in the history of the program. So, what we do on the field and what our fans do, in the stands to help they're really going to go a long way in determining how the rest of the season plays out, I think.
Yeah, and so trying to get as many people there, and also it's another big year because of the significance of how many years that the football team has played at Centennial Bank Stadium.
This is number 50. The 74 season was the first in there, so sometimes that confuses people because we're not celebrating the 50th anniversary. We're celebrating the 50th season in there, and we'll do stuff all year long, some promotional giveaway items tied to that, special guests tied to that, different things along the way. So a really cool concessions offer. This hadn't been said publicly many places, so I can almost kind of say I'm breaking a little news here.
Okay.
There is a special commemorative cup that's going to be sold at the concession stands at football games. And it's got pictures from throughout the history of the stadium and different construction phases, and it's a commemorative cup with our 50th season logo. That cup is going to be available at the concession stand for $10. But when you buy it, it's refillable all season long.
Wow, all season
Buy it
long.
one time and just keep bringing it back
How about
the rest
that?
of the season.
I hope you have plenty of those available. I have a feeling that's going to be a hot seller.
We'll see if they can run us out of them.
Yeah, that would be the good thing to do. But the thing is, get people out there, to be able to do that. And as we talked about in the last segment, if you're able to get that app, you can get your tickets on the app there as well.
Absolutely. You can buy them in the app. You can manage them in the app. Like I said, you can move them to your wallet. You can transfer them. We tell our people you can still get a paper ticket if you want it, but we really are trying to encourage the move to where it's all there in your hand. And we've got new pedestals coming in that will just scan your phone, scan the barcode from your wallet. So obviously we're not the first or far from the last people to go that route, but we're excited about kind of taking a big next step toward being completely mobile from a ticketing standpoint.
And what's really good about watching women's soccer? It's free. That's right. You don't need to worry about that stuff.
I was going to ask Mackenzie. So technically, she played in half a match that didn't actually happen a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, because of the heat. Yeah.
So had a home match against Jackson State. A lot of conversation about when to play it. It was when the heat was just so oppressive a couple weeks ago. The match ended up getting called at halftime. So Mackenzie, how hot was it?
Oh my gosh, it was awful. I couldn't breathe, but played through it. I kind of wish we just finished the game though, so they would count it for us. But we got fun 45 minutes in.
That's where I learned the rule, and I bet Mackenzie learned it too. You had to go 70 minutes for a match to be official.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Me either.
Wow, that we all learned something new on that. But so in that, how do you play through something like that? Because it's extremely challenging to do that.
At that point, it's more just like a mental game. I just have to keep telling myself just to push through, and you just have like 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it's hot in Kansas City, but not as hot as it is down here.
Definitely not that hot.
With that.
Have you ever worn like a pedometer in a match to know how much ground you cover in a soccer match?
Yeah, we wear catapults every game, and last time I checked, I ran like 7.8 miles, I think, if I remember correctly.
Which is one of the questions that, because I'll be kind of the loudmouth, doing stuff there during the games. Love doing that. But we were actually having that conversation about how many miles do you think that they're out there covering, and that's interesting. So I will be able to tell people about 7 to 8 miles on there.
Yeah.
Man, wow, that's crazy.
I think you could do it.
It might take me a little while.
I've run 7.8 miles in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if we pieced it all together, I'd get there.
I don't know if I could do it like in 90 minutes.
Not in a couple hours.
Give me a little bit of time to be able to do it, and maybe so. I guarantee you, we're not going to be able to have any races anytime soon, Mackenzie, because you'd be going out there and I just forget
Oh, I
it.
doubt that. I think it'd be pretty close.
Oh, well, we'll just have to.
We're going out
We'll have
back
to go
when this
see.
is our. Sorry, you
we
guys are
might-
gonna miss the good stuff.
We might have to bring bring the cameras out to be able to do something like that. And then you see an old man that's out there heaving on the trying to get more breath and all that. So we appreciate you both coming up here today for A-State Connections to talk about sports and that. So once again, tomorrow, what time is the game time tomorrow?
3.
3 o'clock. Okay, sounds good. And the game on Sunday?
Yeah, it's
Or
I think-
Saturday, excuse me.
Actually, you guys are probably home Sunday too, but the Saturday football game's at 6.
Yeah.
We also, another thing we want to sort of train our fans up to know is that it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters about when kickoff is that if you're in your head, you need to subtract 2 hours and 15 minutes from that because we really. We want it to be an all-day-long thing, and there's a lot of new stuff that's going to be out in Tailgate City for that. But, if you're not going to be there all day, at least be there at 3:45 for Red Wolf Walk, and that's kind of really when game day starts for our football team.
Well, that's just the kickoff is a culmination of everything. I mean, be out there all day because it's going to be a lot of fun, and the weather should be really fantastic for it.
And we could not catch a break last year from a weather standpoint. It was so bad. So to see Saturday's forecast and just be almost perfect, looking very forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be really good. So it's going to be a fun time. Mackenzie, thank you so much. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for coming to Arkansas State. We're so glad that you're here at Arkansas State and also here at A-State Connections. Thanks for that.
Oh, thank you. It means a lot.
And Brad, thank you for joining us here as well.
Anytime.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of A-State Connections. I want to thank my guest, Coach Brian Gerwig, who was in the first segment, Mackenzie Robinson with A-State Women's Soccer, and Associate Athletic Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Brad Bobo, for joining us throughout the entire show. As always, I want to thank the Instructor of Creative Media Production, Galen Perkins, and his amazing students. Let me tell you, they do a fantastic job behind the scenes running the show, every single show. And thanks to engineers Clayton Holderfield and also to Jacob Keene for their help. And thank you for watching. I'll see you right here next Wednesday, 1:30 for another edition of A-State Connections. So long, everyone. Have a great day.